Okay, I think we're good. Hi everybody. This is Coach Rob again with the Windy City Fieldhouse and the Windy City Sports Academy. We're going to go ahead and dive into a gym class for baseball where we look at some fundamental base running concepts. We're going to get ourselves moving a little bit today, and then we're going to feature what we tried to 2 weeks ago but ran out of time for, which is a little bit of hitting and some fun drills that you can do to practice at home, okay? So I've got some floor markers down that are going to help just with visual aids for you, as you can see. If anything, you do want something to represent a base, and then more than likely you can watch what I'm doing and see what the shape of certain base running concepts look like, and then you could easily do that without putting additional things down on the floor at home, okay? So if you have a baseball bat, a couple of balls, I'm going to be using wiffle balls, and then you're also going to want a tee if possible, but we'll do some variations with and without today, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. We're just going to warm up a little bit, and then we're going to start with base running, okay? We're going to stretch. We're going to do a little arm stretch, little leg stretch, and then we'll get right into everything, okay? So first, go ahead, go with some arm scissors here, big arms out, and then chop, right? Chop. And you're just going to keep everything right at shoulder level or at chest level, okay? Good. Try and do switches where you take one hand on top, right, this hand, and the next time you switch, and speed it up. Boom, 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 boom. Good. 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to do like a quick double chop. 1, 2, and then go out. So you have to switch quickly this time, and then go out, okay? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll do 10, 5, 6, 7, pretend like you're chopping some fruit maybe, 3 more, bananas, grapes, cherries, and done. Keep them out though, and make little small circles. So if I turn sideways, you see those little circles I'm making with my arms? You might be feeling a little fatigue in those arms already. That's good, you're warming up the muscles. Make those circles bigger now. Each time you go around, making them a little wider, like you're flapping your wings until they're so big. You're drawing huge circles in the clouds, and then go backwards big. Good. And we're going to work our way back to being really small. So I'm going to start to get smaller with each one until I'll turn sideways again. I'm just making that teeny tiny little circle. Okay? Good. All right, drop them. Ooh, shake them. Take an arm, pull it across your chest. With your other arm, give it a hug, okay? So your shoulder should be in front of your body. You're hugging the arm, and just hold it for 3, 2, 1. Good. Switch sides. Just switching arms here. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Good. So now take an elbow, put it up by your ear, and take your other arm. If you can, try and pull it back behind your head. As we're going through this, just do what's comfortable for you. Don't try and go too far, right? Know your limits. Know what your body is feeling. Switch sides. We're going to try and get into maybe a little throwing today as well. So arm warm-ups, stretching is important. Let's go ahead and move down to the legs. I want you to take your feet, go a little wider than shoulder width, and then I want you to bend your legs, okay? If you're doing this properly, you should be really balanced, and you can see that this translates to baseball very easily. This is if I'm getting a ground ball, using my glove. We worked on this, pulling the ball into our midsection, turning and throwing. For now, just focus here, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna widen it, go there, but then lead to one side. Keep your back straight as you do this. And then switch, okay? Good, I'm keeping my hand on my knee or on my thigh. Switch. Good. I'll turn sideways now. We do a little quad stretch. Try and balance and pull your foot up towards your behind, and then hold it, okay? I can't find my balance right now. There we go. If you have found your balance, like I finally did, you can push your hips forward a little bit. Good. And now you can really feel the stretch in the front quad. We'll switch. Good. There's my balance. Found it. Good. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last one that we'll do. Just put one foot forward. There you go. You're going to bend the supporting leg, and you're going to try and reach towards the toe that is off the floor. So your heel is the only part of your foot on the ground here, and you're going to try and touch. Okay? You can drop your head too. That'll elongate the stretch. Switch sides. Good. So I'm bending my supporting leg just a little bit so that my heel can go down, my toe can come up, and I'm reaching down to touch. Keep balancing here. As soon as I said it, I fell. There we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. So let's go ahead and move back a little bit. If you've got some space, we're going to start to go from side to side. We're going to do our shuffle warm-up as if we're on first base, taking a lead off, okay? So I am going to use, just as a visual aid here, my base. We're going to put it all the way on this side. Good. So we're acting as if the pitcher is here. We're on first base, and we're going to be trying to go to second, okay? Now, 3 shuffles, everybody. Watch me if you don't remember what a shuffle is. My feet are already spread out, but you're going to take a step out and then together. That's 1, 2 more, and that's a comfortable lead off, okay? Now, the game we played last time was if I say explode, you're going to steal, okay? So, if I say back, that means the pitcher has turned around. He's trying to pick you off at first. So if you have a base on the floor right now, when I say back, get to the base as fast as possible. If I say steal, you're going to go to the next base, run as fast as you can, okay? We'll do this together at first. Shuffle 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now freeze. Ready? Back! There we go. Ready? Now I'm just going to say, lead off. And then what I want you to do, steal. Okay? So now we're going to go faster. Get back to the base, lead off, back. You have to go quick now. Lead off, back. Good. Lead off. Steal. Good. Okay, it's our very last one here, and then I'm going to use these cones, like you probably noticed already, for our next base running drill. Ready? Lead off. Steal. Okay. So you're bending down there. You should feel those quads that you just got done stretching out a little bit. We're going to go ahead. Oh, this is going to be my first base now, okay? I'm going to bring my tee back over just so you can see where I'm hitting from, where home plate is. And then we're going to try and focus on running through first base right now. Okay? So, here's home. I've got this convenient line of cones. That's just going to show you where we're going, right? So, if I've got first base here, we're going to put it down, right? And then we're going to be going off towards second base this way. Just get the angles right. One thing I want you to do for now, though, is don't focus on turning or rounding the base at all, okay? So right now, where I'm positioned, home plate, the first baseline, I'm in fair territory, okay? So if I were to run through the base and then accidentally take a couple of steps inside that baseline, I would be eligible to be tagged and be out, okay? Now, one nice thing about running through first base is if you go into foul territory, you're not eligible to be tagged, okay? And that's only going to be true when you're running through first base, all right? So what I want us to do here, what the drill will be, is if you've got a bat, perfect. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever equipment you have, you're going to pretend to take a swing and put the bat down. That might seem a little menial, but we're going to go ahead and do it just to get good habits, okay? So you're going to take a swing, boom, you put the bat down. Then I want you to run through first base and then into foul territory, right? From here. Okay? So, I hope I got all my angles correct there. I'll show you again. We're here. Take that swing. Boom. So, Cool. I'm just working things out in my head here with the backwards recording. I think I was in the wrong direction. I've got a little wave there I'm gonna hit back. We're gonna go a little redo here, okay? Just making sure I'm being honest. I explained this in the opposite direction. The way that we're set up. Good. I'm here, we're looking like I'm a lefty. I swing, I run through. That is what I want, okay? So I'm gonna trick my brain and I'm gonna be a lefty for this, all right? I'm typically a righty. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go full speed through this just to make sure we've got our heads wrapped around it, okay? Again, we're running into foul territory as we go through first base. And you can run as far as you want past first base as long as you don't go into fair territory, all right? That's where second base is, all the infielders. Easy hint is towards the pitcher's mound, okay? All right, let's do it 3 times. So, we're here. Ready? Step up to the plate. Here comes the pitch. Swing. Boom! Run down. Good. Ready? Come on back. Go again. I want you to make sure you take a big step before you hit your ball this time, okay? So you can see my front foot. That's all you need to see. I'm set up in my position. As the pitch comes in, your energy is going to go towards that pitch. Straight towards the pitcher. Boom! Go ahead and go. All right. Good. I really want to emphasize, I can't do it now because of where I'm at, but you can go, 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 go. I'm actually having to slow down just a little bit because the wall's in my way, but the point of this is to do exactly the opposite of that. Do not slow down at all as you're charging through first base, because if it's a ground ball to the shortstop, for example, you want to make sure you can beat it out. Okay? There's no time to slow down. Make sure you hit that base and go through, all right? Let's do it one more time. So we step up. Ready? Let's remember to take that step as we swing, and then we're gonna run. Here comes the pitch. Boom, go! Okay, excellent. So next, again, just so I can show you with the visual aid, what we're going to focus on now is rounding the base and going to second, okay? So let's say that you hit this in a really nice spot where it either gets through the infield and rolls all the way to the wall in the outfield, or if you hit a nice line drive and it goes in one of the gaps, you know right from the get-go that you're going to be trying to round first and grab 2, okay? Obviously, if you're advanced enough, you can take a peek at the third base coach and get a sign, right? Or the first base coach. So what I want you to do is focus on what I'm going to call a banana turn, okay? Now, really, it would be the first base coach that tells you go to second around the base. But we're going to go ahead and say that we've gotten the sign from the first base coach, and I'm going to put down some of these spots just to show you what I mean by banana turn, okay? We've got all these yellow cones in a straight line for us. That's if you're trying to beat out the throw, you follow those. Now what we'll do, once we get about halfway down the line, I'm going to put these down so that they start to form a curve. I'm actually going to go off frame, and then I'm going to be around it, okay? So, if you think of the shape of like a question mark, for example, that's exactly what is happening right now. So, I'll start going straight on my baseline, then I'll cut out into foul territory, okay? And then round the base, never slowing down in the process. And that's the entire point of this. You don't go straight to the bag, tag, and then take a 90-degree turn and then go to second base, because you're gonna have to slow down in order to do that. Just take this little banana curve that I'm showing you, and that little rounded edge around the base is going to continue to allow you to go to top speed, all right? So I'm gonna go a little off frame, I'm sure, but I'll go up and then around, okay? Ready? So watching me one time, just so you know, you hit, start straight, and then start to take this curve. Boom! And now I'm heading towards second base. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. Full speed, you're, boom, gonna start, up, go through. Always make sure that you're hitting that base. Okay? You can really aim for the center of the bag right now. All right? A little bit more advanced what you can do, this is more pertinent I would say on second base, whenever there's not the potential of the first baseman being in your way, but you want to try and hit the corner of the bag closest to the next base that it's leading towards, okay? So if it's first base, for example, I'll use one of these guys. All right, if this is first base here, then we're gonna come up, all right? And then second base is gonna go in that direction. We're gonna try and step on this corner of the bag. Blue on blue, not my favorite. That's probably easier to see, all right? So if the first baseline's coming up like this, and second base is that way, if you can just hit the corner of that bag as you go, that's really the perfect launch pad to keep your speed, okay? So why don't we do this 2 more times, all right? So we're here, right? I'll come up a little bit, swing, put the bat down, start to take your curve, and go. Good? So, if you want to, you can put a ball on top, you can get a bat. I'll just step it up a little bit, keep myself honest, make sure that I'm putting that bat down as I take off and go. Right? Good habits. Ready? So, here comes the pitch, swing, boom, bat down, curve, go. Good. Okay. So before we go ahead, shift off of this, I want to show you one example in the way that I was telling you about before, where you're going straight to the bag, slowing down, and then turning to go on to second base. All right? This example I'm going to show you is the way that I don't want you to do it, okay? That banana curve that you can see right there is so that you don't do what I'm about to show you. Right? Sometimes I see my players get up, boom, they run straight, make sure they touch, and then go. Okay? That was a very over-exaggerated example, but that's exactly what I'm trying to say. All right? Make sense? So let's go ahead. We're going to clear off any of the cones that you had. We're going to shift into our hitting, okay? If you've got a tee, I recommend having about 5 to 10 balls or so at your ready. We'll have time after I explain a drill or a concept to go ahead and drill it, then collect, and then we'll go ahead and take a next step with that same concept, okay? I'm going to clear off real fast, grab water if you need it. Okay. So, I'm going to set up in a way that really makes it easy to follow. And I'm going to use just one cone. All right? Make sense? So, first and foremost, if you're having trouble setting the tee height, what I recommend is having your player get into a stance and then seeing that it comes in the middle of their strike zone, okay? So, where the letters would be, to the knees. That box that you're gonna want, it's kind of hard to tell with that black tip there. That's almost right in the middle of that strike zone, okay? It's a good starting point. If not, boom. You wanna keep it just a tinge below the elbows, okay? Now, with this cone that we have, we're also gonna use the tee to line up our feet. Or you could do home plate too. Just to make this easy, I like to tell my young players that that line that is on the front of home plate, if you were to extend it with a pencil and draw it, you could put your own foot on that same line, and that helps them line up their toes. Cool? Now with the cone, you could just have them put their feet equally on opposite sides. Cool? So if there was a line drawn down the center of your body, that's where the cone would be, and your feet are on opposite sides, okay? Now, the arm positioning would be next. You're gonna try and keep your front arm nice and tucked in, okay? So if you see it here, it's really subjective to a large degree, but for the purposes of how I'm going to explain bringing the bat around, I'm going to tell you now to keep that front arm tucked in. Cool? Then as you can see, my elbow here is raised and at the height of my shoulders. All right, we're gonna start there with the actual mechanics of the swing. You're trying to keep the line, there it is, right? That's nice and tall. The line of our shoulder to then be the line where the bat follows in order to come down. Boom. Okay? Reason being, you want to try and keep these arms nice and high. Boom. If you were to drop the hands and then get into your motion, one thing is already happening. And it's only happening very slightly here. But my hand level, if I were to draw a line, boom, is above where my barrel is. Okay? That's going to be the biggest reason why I tell you to keep these elbows up. And as you go into your swing, try and keep things here. See where that bat level is? Boom, it's not down here. Okay? So, that would be the first thing. If you want to take 10 swings right now, just make them start from a nice high starting point and approach the ball almost as if the bat's going across like a dining room table. Okay? A nice cool visual would be, if you want, the bat should be nice and horizontal and sweep all of the china off the table. So the glasses go flying, the dishes crash onto the floor, the food goes everywhere. Okay? So go ahead and do a couple more of those. All right? Good. So if you want, you can go ahead and add a ball into this. We're going to break down the swing here in just a second. We'll start with broad strokes. Okay? So, here. Good. Nice contact on the ball. Obviously, a sign that you're dropping the hands to start is if your bat makes contact below the ball, right? Nice clean hit right in the center of the ball so it doesn't hit the tee. Okay? So we're here. Good. I got my stance. My legs are just about shoulder width apart, nice and bent. I'll turn sideways for a second. My back is always really straight. Okay? Over exaggerating here. If you were to lean over like this, here, I'll do it like this. See that curve in my back there? Keep things nice and elevated. If you can keep your spine nice and tall, then inevitably the bat's going to be nice and tall and your swing is going to be right on level. Okay? So, just as you get comfortable with that, what we're going to try and do is break down the swing hand by hand, okay? Now, I've got my back hand on the bat here, so I'm leaving the space where my front hand was open. Start by getting in your stance, getting everything as if it was perfect, like a statue, then take a hand away, and obviously now you're going to work on the mechanics of each arm. So, as I come here, to break this down, this arm here is generating a lot of the control over where the bat barrel is going, okay? You're going to come around, boom, the power starts in the hips. You're going to pull through the strike zone with your forward hand, and then this control transitions once the bat extends through. So the backhand has a really important job. It's the control and the follow through, right? So if you're to take this away in slow motion, what I want you to do is as the hips start to turn, my elbow can then start to follow. Boom. If you notice, as my elbow goes, almost like a lever, boom, the bat goes, right? So from here, I take it away and I go in slow motion. I turn my hips, I control the bat, and as I come through the strike zone, I'll speed up just a little bit to show. You have to then push, okay? Make sure you really bring the bat all the way around. I didn't do that there, I was focusing on hitting that ball. I'll try that specifically now. Get set up, good, and try one swing, right? There it was. So you heard that control. You heard the pop on that ball right in the middle, okay? So, just to go ahead and skip through, with the front hand, you're going to try and keep this elbow tucked in nice and close to the body. Boom. Okay, if I turn sideways a little bit, boom. Look, there's maybe 2 inches or so that I am allowing my elbow to stay off my chest. As I come here, right in the middle, my hands flip over and my back arm generates the dominant power of the swing. So, what we're going to try and accomplish here with just the front arm is the reaction with the hips and extending out and popping the wrist. pop, right? So you get to the end of the rope, so to speak, and then you see how the mechanic of the wrist flips over there. We'll try and put it together. Nice. Okay, turning the hips, keeping the back toe on the floor, and allowing the arm to extend to the end, all right? So let's just go ahead and break this down maybe one time each hand, and then we'll sign off. Ready? Front arm again. Good. Nice job, and we'll go back hand. All right, away. Okay. So, those are some tricks that I really loved to do as I was sharpening up my baseball skills, particularly the front-handed swings and the backhanded swings. An extra step onto that would be to grab a friend, try front arm, back arm isolated swings with someone just underhand tossing a ball to you from about 5 feet away. Not in front, but if I'm here, for example, they would be just on the opposite side of home plate. And that's really going to test to make sure that when the ball comes into the proper range to hit, that you are following through with the arms and executing as best as possible. But thank you again, everybody, for joining in. I hope that this was helpful for you. Go ahead and take those concepts, keep practicing, and we hope to see you next time.